So, welcome to Kim's Kitchen. Thanks for joining me, and I appreciate you watching on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe and check out all my social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and on Facebook. Every day I do a lesson at lunch. That's at noon, Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday I do my YouTube video. Today we're going to do a Juicy Lucy. That is from up north in Minnesota. Also, I'm going to do some home cut fries from an Idaho potato. I'm soaking them in a little water and salt right now. We're gonna have a little watermelon for dessert. So let's get started. And I'm gonna show you how to make the Juicy Lucy. So I did the skinny burger. So this is a 1/4 pound of meat that I pressed in the hamburger patty press. That was part of my lessons of lunch this week. So I have skinny burgers. So I did a 1/4 pound. Now I'm going to take some mild cheddar cheese. You can use sharp cheddar, you can use whatever. We like mild cheddar. I'm gonna put that in the middle. And actually, we're kind of gluttons, right? So we like a lot of cheese in the middle. So we're gonna put those in the middle. I'm gonna do 3 big hunks because I think that's what I can fit in there at this point. Those in the middle. I'm gonna do 3 big hunks because I think that's what I can fit in there at this point. So once I put the cheese in the middle, I place the other burger on top and I seal around the edges. Just push it down. And the key to the Juicy Lucy is to seal the burger well, just like I did right here. Pinching on the edges, just like that. Well, this one doesn't have as much cheese in it, so I'm gonna sneak another piece. I can feel it when I push the burgers down together, right? That way we're gonna have 4 burgers to cook. Now, the key to this is I'm gonna take these out and I'm gonna throw them on the Blackstone. And when we get out there, I'll tell you the key to all of it. Throw a little salt and pepper on them. You have to remember, this is a big old burger, so it's a 1/2 pound of meat that's in there. But I'm not gonna lie, I can eat the whole thing. It's so delicious. Okay, so now, earlier I washed some regular old russet potatoes and I cut them into a fry. So I left the skins on them because I'm good with that. Some of the kids aren't good with them, so they'll pick it out. But right now I have them soaking in cold water with salt in it. And I just don't let them sitting there for a while. But I'm gonna show you how I cut up a fry, and I make it pretty easy. So you cut the potato in half, then you turn it meat side down, cut it again, and just slice it, okay? Now look, this is a little fat, right? That's more like a steak fry. So I'm gonna cut that one again, so then I get 2 fries out of that. So you can make them as thick or thin as you want. When I get to the end, like this piece, I lay it flat again and I cut it again. So that way, they're all kind of the same shape as a fry. I'm gonna throw these on the Blackstone too after they've sat in the water a little while. And I get that moisture in them. They'll fry up. I like them kind of crispy. I'm gonna put a little extra salt, maybe some Parmesan cheese on them. So that's what we're gonna have tonight. Juicy Lucy's and home fries cooked on the Blackstone. So I'm gonna finish cutting these up and then we're gonna head outside. You can watch me grill and I'll give you a few tips. One little tip that I want to address from my ribeye video a couple weeks ago, I had several people ask, how do you get it so your dogs don't eat the steaks off your counter? Well, I gotta tell you, it has happened before, I'm not gonna lie. So now, when I'm letting my steaks get to room temperature, or even these hamburgers, if I walk out of the room, they go on top of the refrigerator. Because my sweet little puppies will definitely grab that meat as quickly as possible, because they think it's delicious too. All right, we're gonna get started, and I'm gonna put the potatoes on first. So these cut fries are, I'm gonna throw some butter down, just to get a little grease going in on the old Blackstone. I'm gonna stir it around a bit, kind of put them over. You know, I kind of talked about the hot spots on a grill, which if you think about it, it makes sense, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 burners. So that is exactly where the gas comes out and the fire is. That is a lot, that's a lot hotter than most. So I'm gonna kind of get these out so they're in a single layer, and I have them laying right on a spot that is where the gas runs, right where there is a burner. So see how I have them all laying there? And I've got that going on high. So I'm gonna throw a little salt and pepper on there. You know, potatoes need quite a bit of salt, I think, and I'm not even a salt person. But they need to pick up a little bit of flavor, right? And so we throw these salts on, and we'll let these cook for a while, and I might add a little bit of, might add a little more butter at some point, but I'm gonna let the potatoes sit there and we're gonna let them sizzle. Now, on this part of the grill is where I'm going to put my Juicy Lucy's. Now, the key to a Juicy Lucy, you have to remember, right? It's a half a pound of meat. So that is a fat burger. So look how big that is, you know? So I'm going to put the flat side down, and I've turned that down to about medium, and I'm gonna let them slowly cook, and they'll get a nice crispy crust on the outside of the burger. And so sometimes I just have to walk away. Otherwise I get a little too anxious and I wanna flip them. And that just makes it worse for the potatoes and for the burgers. But a Juicy Lucy, it really needs to cook pretty slowly. That is the key. So the cheese stays inside and you don't want that seal to break. And when it gets too hot, that seal breaks and then the cheese comes out of the burger. So my dogs feel they're gonna share the meal today, but they're not. Now, everybody is a bacon fan at my house. Not as much me, because I just like my burgers and cheese. But I'm gonna throw some bacon on here. So that way, at the end of this little video, and you see this Juicy Lucy, you are going to be dying to make one for yourself. So I'll put like 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12 pieces of bacon. I'm gonna put 3 half pieces, so a piece and a half on each burger. We'll get these laying down here. Look at that, I've got bacon laying all over my grill. But you know what, that's not really a bad thing because the fat and the flavor from the bacon kind of seeps into everything. So if you're bacon people, that just gives a little bit more sizzle on the potato. So that way it just cooks a little quicker, gets a little more flavor into it. And we are just gonna let this go for a while. And I'm gonna sit down and watch and see it grill for a bit. Okay, now they have a nice crisp outer edge on that side. It's kind of boiled up a little bit, so I'm gonna push them down, but I don't want much because otherwise the cheese is gonna come out. So you hear that crisp crunch on that edge. Now the French fries, I'm gonna start flipping them. They should be done, they're pretty crunchy, kind of how we like them. I'm just gonna kind of stir them around, get them away from the meat a little bit. Look at that. Got a lot of bacon on there, Grease, don't we? I pulled bacon off already. So now I'm gonna put a little salt on there again and let them cook in. When I get inside, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little Parmesan cheese on them. I'm gonna turn these down a little bit, let them finish cooking. I'm gonna take the fries up and soak them with a little paper towel, get the grease off them, pull the bacon off to the side, and then I'll be back. Okay, we brought the potatoes, the French fries, potatoes in. I have brought them in a paper towel, but now I'm going to just touch them with a little paper towel more. Get that grease out of them. I sprinkled some salt on them. Now I'm gonna put a little Parmesan cheese on them. Toss them around a little bit, let that settle in and get a little warm. Now, I put my buns on the grill. So they are a little toasty. I love a hot bun. Then we're gonna put the Juicy Lucy right on top of that. Notice I put another piece of cheese on top of there. And then we're gonna put some bacon on top. Put that bun on top of there. I have to have a pickle, but I'll get that out later. Throw a little fries on the plate. I tell you, doesn't that look like a great Friday night meal for the family or just whoever? So this is Friday night's dinner with Kim. We're having fries and a Juicy Lucy. Now, the law, the unwritten rule, not the law, but the unwritten rule is you're never supposed to cut a Juicy Lucy in half. However, I want to show you what that looks like inside. It's so good. I can just hear the cheese goo out of it. Look at that. Perfectly cooked. And you're supposed to just bite in it. But be careful because it gets a little hot. Have a great week and tune in next Friday. Make sure you subscribe.